Well, it's back to reality. The euro crashes, and it's an ugly picture for Kodak. Hello, fellow traders everywhere. Adam Hewison here, co-founder of MarketClub, with your midday market update for Thursday, the 5th of January. A little bit early today, but I'll tell you why later. A sad picture for Kodak. We look at how our trade triangles would have saved you a fortune in this once iconic American company. We're also going to be looking at three stocks on the move today: Western Digital, ROST Stores, and METROPCS Communications. We'll see how our trade triangle technology, what they think about these stocks. Is the euro in a free fall? Tensions, technicals, and triangles propel the euro lower. Now let's go to the markets and the one truth we rely on every day, and that is MarketClub's trade triangle technology. But first, this may be a great way to start the year. You want to check out a free consultation, 877-219-1482, and see if one-on-one MarketClub coaching is right for you. It's a free consultation. The number's on the screen, 877-219-1482. So give us a call, and let's see if we can get you started on the right foot in 2012. Now let's go to the markets, and here's my homepage. I'm going to be looking at my portfolio, and I can click right here, and I've already got this up just for speed. You can see we're looking at all these markets today, starting with the S&P 500, and it's really kind of deja vu all over again. This market continues to move sideways. If you remember, we were talking about the market moving out of the Donchian trade channel. This is definitely a resistance area. How we close today is going to be very important. This is similar to what happened back here when in October, when the market had a big up day. It looks like it was going up, and then we had like a little doji cross, and then we had the next day was down. Well, we had the big up day, and we've had on Tuesday rather, Wednesday we sort of had this little doji, and then Thursday, if we close lower, certainly if we close below the low of this day, which was 1268, I think this market's going to be looking like it's put in a small top and we'll have a pullback. That's what I'm thinking there right now. Our trade triangles continue to be somewhat mixed. Monthly is negative, as it has been for quite some time, and the weekly and daily are positive, indicating more like a little trading range. We keep going into a trading range, into an emerging trend, back and forth, back and forth. So this is silly season, remember that, and you really want to be trading very lightly, if at all. So we'll be looking to trade more seriously next week when we get through this period. So let's go to our next market, and that's going to be on silver. The silver market to us continues to look negative. We're in a minus 55, indicating a trading range. And you can see how this market went out of the Donchian trade channel, much like it did here, and then sort of just came back a little stronger this time towards the midpoint, but it certainly is still in a negative mode with the weekly and monthly trade triangles pointing down. So next market, of course, is going to be gold. And this is a very important day in gold, in my opinion, because we do have a minus 55 indicating a trading range. The action today so far looks like it potentially could be a doji, or certainly could be putting in a top in that market. We are overbought, as you can see right here, much like we were overbought here in these points here. It's not to say we can't go higher, but it would be a little bit unusual. Oh, let me go back one more time, if I may, to the S&P 500, because there's something I wanted to share with you, which I didn't share with you, and that is we have the potential of a negative divergence. You see how the prices are coming down, or the momentum's going down, yet the prices were actually going up. So that could be a big play in the future. So let's go back to the portfolio, and we've done the silver, and the gold looks much the same. Potential doji line here, potential mini top around the 16.25, 26 area. I think that'll hold the market at least for the time being. So next market is going to be copper. Copper actually put in a very negative day yesterday, which is interesting. And of course today we're on a little bit on the defensive. We're not yet in an oversold condition. And I think for the time being, we talked about this last night in our TV show. If you haven't seen the show, it's available right now for on demand in our channel. But generally we just have a broad sort of trading range here. And that's, of course, reflected in the mixed signals on the monthly and the weekly. Now, the monthly is the one to look at for the longer-term trends. Short-term trends, you only look at the intermediate-term trends, I should say. You want to look at the weekly. So that's how things stack up right now. But generally speaking, I think we'll see this market a little bit more on the defensive. If we put in our daily signals, you can see we had a daily signal today, and that came in at 342. The market's at 341.80, so pretty much where it is right now. But generally speaking, it looks as though we're going to see a potential test again of the 330 level. Would not be surprised to see that happening. So going on to our next market, and that is the crude oil. Crude oil is very, very bullish in our minds. It's plus a 90. We've had a couple of days here where we're sort of resting after this big day that we had on the 3rd of January, and that was, of course, was Tuesday. And of course, Wednesday and Thursday, where we are right now, we're doing this live, and you can see we're right just below the 103 level. Again, the inventory numbers came out. They were a little heavier than expected. We saw some profit taking, but generally speaking, this market, if we can get it over the 103, 104 level, then we were talking about the 120 level in last night's show. You really want to take a chance, take a look at that show. It's very, very informative. It gives us a lot more time to flesh out these ideas and show you exactly how to make these counts. So next market is going to be the dollar index. Of course, it's a huge move up in the dollar index. Currently trading, just traded at 80.94, and we've been bullish on this market for some time. We said this is basically much like we talked about back here. This was a energy zone right here. And this is the same thing here, but this is a bigger one, capable of carrying the market quite a bit higher. Currently, we're looking for this market to trade it to the 81.50 to the 82 levels. Now, remember, this is a dollar index. This is not just against the euro. I'm going to show you that next, but the dollar index looks as though it's going to go higher. And this is a basket of currencies measured against the dollar. And of course, you're measuring against some very strong currencies as well. So let's go to clean the screen off and go to our next market. And that's going to be the Reuters Jefferies CRB index. And as you may recall, we are longer term negative on this market based on our monthly trade channels. We've got towards the upper end of the Donchian trading channel, and we've had a down day. Potentially this indicates a top around the 314, 315 area. And if we close down here, I think it's a pretty good indication that yes, indeed, Wednesday was in fact a high day for this cross. We can see the market come back down to the 304 level. We do have a weekly triangle, which is in conflict to the monthly, but nonetheless, it would indicate that we are overbought, and we have turned down. So I would say chances are we're going to see this market go sideways to lower in the next several days. Again, this is the silly season. We haven't gotten out of it yet, and volume is still very light on all these markets, so please be careful. Going back to the Forex markets, this is the dollar against the euro USD cross. As you can see, we crashed. We're currently trading, this is live, we're currently trading below the 128 level, and I think this is a 127.86. This is a new low. You have to go back. If we go back in our time capsule here, we can see just how far we go back a couple of years. And you can see, let me clean the screen off for you so we don't have all these triangles. But you can see we're getting back to these levels back here, and this is currently 128.86. So if we close below there, then you're looking at somewhere around the 120 area, which is our ultimate target for this market. This market has made what we consider to be a very, very big top, and that's basically, it's taken a long time to build, a couple of years, and the potential for this market to go lower is staggering. And don't think markets in currencies can get oversold and stay oversold for a long, long time. And that's just how the markets work. They're huge and very liquid, and a lot of people are betting the euro is going to go down, and so far they have been right, as we have been right. We put our trade triangles in there, as I say, and we're short from much higher levels. And you can see every one of our signals are in a positive mode right now. So let's see how that plays out. But generally speaking, we are negative on this market. You can see our monthlies from 139, and we're currently at 127. That's a huge, in Forex, that's a huge move. That's 12 handles, and it's a huge, huge move. So let's go to our next market, and this is Eastman Kodak. We talked about this, and you can see our last signal on the monthly was $3.84. How low can it go? Well, it's trading at 44 cents right now, and it looks really bad. Chances are this market's going to be either taken over or declare bankruptcy. They can't continue like this. It's a very sad state of affairs for a once very proud company, and I think that's the takeaway here, because let's just clean this up so we don't have all these markets on. Let's just take the parabolic and the Donchian trade channels off and just do a simple line chart, and just take the triangles off, and you just go back to maximum. You can see where this market was once, and this is back in 05, and you can see it's really been a steady decline for quite some time, and with no respite. And I think this is the one thing to look at in terms of, let me just take this off the screen for a second, and it's easy to do this. It's our Fibonacci tool, but just to give you a quick idea, and this is how it trends, how I would look at things really quickly, and that is, if you look at this just visually, and you can see, okay, we have a high here, we have a high here, we have a high here, we have a lower low, 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 and now finally another lower low. So basically, that just tells you the trend. Every time you had a rally, it really didn't get anywhere. The only chances this market had was right here. This is back in the April period, but it really didn't capitalize on it. And of course, once it took out these lows right here, it was in serious trouble. And I think we put our trade triangles, and you'll see where I think we're short from the 485 level. Oh, it's close to $5. So generally speaking, does not look good for this once iconic brand in the U.S., and I think we'll be seeing that either taken over or it's going to be just disappear and go into bankruptcy. Sad. But anyway, that's how things are, and that's how the trade triangles, if we just put our trade triangles in, you can see, yeah, 384. So basically, you would have saved or made, depending, a tremendous amount of money, over 350% right on that one trade alone if you were short, or it would have saved you a lot of money. You would not have got caught buying this market for any length of time. So let's go to our next market, and that's Western Digital, which is a big mover. But look, it's a big mover because all of our trade triangles, I'm just going to put the last 6 months on here, the last actually 3 months probably, but you can see we're a big mover today. We are up, I think we're up 3.86%. We've come off the highs, of course, but nonetheless, the market is looking very, very good. This looks like an energy field. You can see our monthly kicked in right here at 30.43. We're 32.50, so it's got almost 9% in there, 6-7%, and it looks like it wants to go higher. So all the surprises tend to come in on the upside with the direction of the major trend, and that's the key thing to look at. So next market is going to be ROST stores. Look at ROST stores. Actually fabulous action, plus 100. We're long from 41.27 on the triangles, 45 on the weeklies. Nothing but profits in this market. And you can see if we scope this out even further, that's where we got our signal right there, 41.27. And you had a chance to buy it a couple of days later at around $38. So you had every opportunity to buy this market, and these alerts would have shown you, if you look at our smart scan technology, would have alerted you that this was a buy, or the trade triangle came in on 920. You would have seen that on our smart scan technology. So again, great trend, great profits, and I think we'll see this market go higher. It looks like it's just firing on all cylinders. Next market we're looking at is going to be the METROPCS Communications, and that is just down in the dumps, trading around $8 a share. All of our trade triangles are negative. We got short at 1573, and it looks as though we're going to see this market continue to go lower. Not a good sign for this market. But again, these are what the trade triangles really show you. And if you put our signals in, you would have actually gotten out at 1657, because if you use our monthly trade triangles for a period of the trend and then our daily for timing, you would have been out of a long position right here, and you would have been out, and then you would have gotten short, of course, and then the market has just continued down. If you're just a long-term trader, just use the monthlies and you would stay short all this time. That signal came in on August 2nd of last year, and it looks like it's still in place. So again, these are important elements to trading, but so much for that. And tomorrow we'll be back with another show for you. But if you have the chance, I'm serious, if you have the chance, give us a call for a free consultation. It's not going to cost you anything except your time talk to one of our consultants, 877-219-1482. We'd love to hear from you. This is one-on-one Market Club coaching. This is personal coaching to help you become a more successful trader. Hey, this is Adam Hewison. I'm going to be here tomorrow, so I'll see you at the same time, the same place. Have a great day trading.